this very objective that Lex Erudites has come up with this initiative. Without any further ado, I once again invite you all to the inauguration ceremony. Myself, Karthik, I shall be the host for the day. Firstly, I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Mayan Abubakar, Faculty Coordinator, GLC Ernakulam, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
Thank you. Most respected Chief Guest of the Day, Honorable Justice Dr. Kausar Adapagat, Judge, High Court of Kerala, Dr. Bindu M. Nambiar, Principal, Government Law College, Ernakulam, Dr. Dhani Mehta, Advisor, Lex Erudites, Dr. Brian Clerk, patron of this program, and Aled Davis, one of the resource person for this workshop. Advocate Agil George is set to join, and my colleagues, dear students, volunteers of the competition from Government Law College, Ernakulam, and Lex Erudites, and participants from various institutions inside and outside the country. A very good evening to one and all. As he said, this is the second edition of the International Mediation Competition, jointly hosted by Government Law College, Ernakulam, and Lex Erudites, and initiatives of the young legal aspirants. As we know, mediation plays an important role in the legal profession. With a view to give awareness and opportunity to acquire skill of mediation, we, the team of Government Law College, Ernakulam, and Lex Erudites, started an international mediation competition last year. The maiden attempt was very successful, and it motivated us to conduct the second edition of the competition this year. This year, we have got 30 teams from various institutions, which includes 4 international teams. As part of this program, we are also organizing one important workshop in order to give awareness about the subject of mediation. I hope this program will be a great opportunity to our student community and young legal aspirants. Now, I don't want to say anything more because my duty is to welcome the gathering. First of all, I would like to welcome our principal, Dr. Bindu M. Nambiar, who is the backbone of the program, and she was always with us for the conduct of the program. On behalf of this competition, I welcome our principal to this inaugural function. Welcome, teacher.
Thank you.
Today, the program is going to be inaugurated by Honorable Justice Dr. Kausar Adapagat, Judge, High Court of Kerala. Honorable Justice is one of the excellent judges in our Indian judiciary, and the quality of his judgments shows the depth and research done by him for writing the judgment. No doubt, Honorable Judge is the best and competent person to inaugurate this function. I extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Kausar Adapagat. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are blessed with the presence of Dr. Dhani Mehta, who is agreed to deliver this special address in this function. She's one of the advisors of Lex Erudites and a great academician and expert in the subject of mediation, health, and medical law. No doubt the knowledge and expertise in the subject is another attraction of this function. On behalf of Government Law College, Ernakulam, and Lex Erudites, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Dhani Mehta. Welcome, madam.
Thank you.
Dr. Brian Clerk, I need not make any introduction because as far as our competition is concerned, he was always with us whenever we are making or whenever we are requesting any or getting any for taking any information. He was ready to join with us, and he is the patron of this competition. On behalf of this competition, I welcome Dr. Brian Clerk. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Then today, along with this competition, inaugural function of the competition, we are also organizing one important workshop for the law students and the participants about this mediation. So one of the important resource person is Aled Davis. I also welcome Dr. Aled Davis to this inaugural function. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. My poor colleague Sabina, who will be attending the session, just yesterday came down with COVID. But fortunately, she's summoning up all her resources to be present shortly.
Okay, sir. Advocate Akhil George is set to join, the former student of our institution, and is also a key person of these Lex Erudites, who is agreed to deliver the vote of thanks of this program. I welcome Advocate Akhil George. No doubt, my colleagues, our colleagues are always an inspiration for conducting every program, any program in this institution. I welcome all my colleagues to this program. The enthusiasm of the participants is the attraction of the program. This year we have got 30 teams from different parts of the world. Among these 30 teams, 4 international teams is also participating in this competition. I welcome all the participants and wish a very good luck to this program. I welcome all volunteers of Government Law College, Ernakulam and Lex Erudites. I welcome all the students of Government Law College, Ernakulam for attending this inaugural function and the upcoming workshop. Thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful foundation that you have laid for us. Next up, we have Dr. Bindu M. Nambiar, Principal, Government Law College, Ernakulam, a specialist in law and social transformation, juvenile delinquency, and acted as a coordinator for various national seminars and published papers in various regional, national, and international seminars. I kindly request ma'am to deliver the presidential address. Ma'am, please.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Justice Dr. Kausak Edapagat, Dr. Dwini Mehta, Professor Dr. Brian Clark, Dr. Alec Davis, Professor Main Abubakar, Advocate Akhil George, participants, colleagues, friends, and my dear students, a very warm good evening to one and all. His Highness, Maharajas Government Law College, in association with Lex Erudites, is organizing the 2nd edition of International Mediation Competition. This event gives the students an opportunity to put theory into practice and to interact with some of the world's top mediators. Thanks to modern technology, we are able to connect participants and judges from all over the world. We are pleased that this year's competition has gathered together a diverse mix of participants comprising of 30 teams who have registered for the competition to be conducted in 3 days. Students from different parts of the world will be competing and testing their mediation skills. I take this opportunity to congratulate Faculty Coordinator, Professor Sri Main Abubakar, student coordinators, all volunteers and members of Lex Erudites for organizing this competition. Our institution have always been in the forefront of promoting alternate dispute resolution mechanism. In India, since time immemorial, mediation in different forms existed. Even now, traditional method of mediation continues to be prevailing in India. To have a successful mediation, the mediator is no doubt a key factor, but each of the participating parties also has a role to play. Mediation representatives, often the legal representatives of the parties, have an important role to play as the mediation advocates. The legal practitioner participating in the mediation would have to understand that mediation advocacy involves a shift from an adversarial mode to a collaborative approach with a focus on the interest of both parties in mind. This is very much what the present competition is about, the fine-tuning of advocacy skills in a mediation setting, with a view to developing an understanding of mediation and cultivating a mediate-first culture amongst students who may be joining the profession as a new generation advocate. Mediation provides a neutral and confidential arena where parties can communicate candidly. The flexibility in the mediation procedures and the tailor-made remedies allow parties to have a greater autonomy in the outcome. And often, when the parties reach a settlement agreement, they are more willing to comply. When parties are given the chance to understand the interest of each other, even if a settlement may not be reached, the differences of the parties are narrowed down and valuable business relationship could be preserved. We all know that the cases pending in our courts are very high, and all the litigants wanted to get their dispute settled immediately. It is a fact that justice delayed is justice denied. To some extent, the answer for this problem is to opt for alternate dispute resolution mechanism wherever possible. Mediation reduces cost, time, and stress as compared to court-based litigation. The stars of this day and the coming 2 days are the brilliant students who have come to participate in this mediation competition from various prestigious law schools around the world. I wish all the participants the very best for performing to their maximum ability. Winning or losing is not what matters. What counts is whether or not you have performed to your best. Enjoy participating in the competition. It is our hope that participants will emerge from the competition with an enhanced understanding of how mediation can be effectively applied to resolve disputes amicably. We are confident that such skills in mediation settings will not only be relevant, but also valuable in the future career. On this note, I wish all the participants all the best. I hope all of you will enjoy this valuable and learning experience. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much for your encouraging words, ma'am. As ma'am rightly said, the most important thing is to put theory into practice. And the foundation of the objective of this competition is to inculcate such practices in the emerging law students as well. Next up, Honorable Dr. Justice Kausar Edapagat graduated in law from the Government Law College, Calicut, and he set up a legal practice at his own district. In 1997, he formed a law firm, MK Associates. He has finished International Accredited Mediation Training course conducted jointly by Mediation Council, UK, ADR Chamber, UK, and Hamlin University School of Law in association with Indian Institute of Arbitration and Mediation in 2005. In 2012, he was awarded doctorate, PhD in law by the Indian Law Institute, New Delhi. He has also authored the book Divorce and Gender Equity in Muslim Personal Law of India, published by LexisNexis in 2014. He was sworn in as the additional judge of the High Court of Kerala and currently appointed as a permanent judge of the High Court of Kerala. It is indeed a proud privilege to have you with us today, sir. I kindly request you to deliver the inaugural and keynote address. Sir, please.
Thank you, Karthik. And am I audible, Karthik?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Yes.
Yes, good evening to all. I feel it is my privilege and honor to address you on this auspicious occasion of the inaugural function of the second International Mediation Competition, jointly organized by Lex Erudites and Government Law College, Ernakulam. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected everyone's life. Social distancing has completely changed the way how we interact and do business, and inevitably also the landscape of dispute resolution. The pandemic has caused an accelerated change in dispute resolution, including ADR method, which includes mediation. And going online is part of the new normal. This year, this competition has taken on this trend and is held virtually. Mooting competitions have become a common agenda for most of the aspiring lawyers of tomorrow across the world. The usual format of such competitions takes the form of mock litigation or arbitration proceedings. Whereas the mediation often remains unexplored territory for law students who are still in the early stage of familiarizing themselves with the legal profession. Of course, a competition of this nature would enhance, cultivate, and educate the young law students across the globe about the concept of mediation. This international mediation competition is a unique opportunity for students to learn and practice mediation skills through the role playing of a mediation problem drafted by experienced mediators and practitioners, besides providing exceptional networking opportunities. Therefore, at the outset, I would like to congratulate Lex Erudites and the Government Law College Ernakulam for organizing such a great event. The principles of rule of law mandate that every person should have reasonable access to justice. Access to justice is recognized as a prominent and fundamental right in several international documents. Indian Constitution too ensures access to justice to every citizen under Article 39A. The Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court of India, in Anita Kusho's case, has held that access to justice is a fundamental right guaranteed to its citizen by Article 14 and 21. Earlier, the Supreme Court in Imtiaz Ahmad's case has held that access to justice is not only a fundamental right, but a human right as well. Well, access to justice is honored in its true spirit only when justice is imparted without any delay. Speedy trial, speedy justice is part of the right to life and personal liberty. Therefore, the delay in disposal may in a way result in denial of fundamental right to life and personal liberty. Alternative dispute resolution mechanism has evolved as the most effective means to overcome the problems of delay and pendency. In fact, ADR is no longer an alternative process. ADR has now become one of the premier methods of resolving disputes. Out of the various ADR options, mediation has now been widely accepted worldwide as a potential tool for resolving disputes. The Supreme Court of India in Vikram Bakshi's case observed that mediation is a new dimension of access to justice. Viewed as a more cost-effective tool with the traditional benefits of efficiency, confidentiality, and the ability to preserve relationships, mediation has gained prominence at a steady pace. As the market for mediation begins to mature, it is becoming increasingly used as a tool of choice in dispute resolution. And politically, it has gained prominence across the globe with a determined focus by governments to change the attitude towards resolving disputes. Simply asking parties to reflect on how they themselves can work towards a solution rather than turning to the law is becoming a more common practice in many jurisdictions all over the world. Unlike litigation arbitration, which are adversarial processes and result in a win-loss situation, successful mediation can result in a better outcome for the parties, as win-win solutions can be achieved through a flexible mix of legal and non-legal solutions. Mediation provides a neutral and confidential arena where parties can communicate candidly. We are seeing a rising trend in the use of mediation, especially in the family disputes and commercial disputes all over the world and in India in particular. To have a successful mediation, the mediator has a key role to play. And each of the participating parties also has a role to play. As spoken to by Dr. Bindu, the legal practitioner or rather advocate participating, representing the party in the mediation process must realize that the mediation advocacy involves a shift from adversarial model to a collaborative approach with focus on the interest of both parties in mind. And she said this is very much what the present competition is all about. The honing of advocate skills in a mediation setting with a view to developing an understanding of mediation and thus cultivating a mediate first culture among the law students who may be joining the profession soon. I do hope that the participants will emerge from the competition with an enhanced understanding of how mediation can be effectively applied to resolve disputes. I wish all the participants best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your resourceful words. As sir rightly said, mediation is extremely integral to our lives because through discussions, we realize how important it is to know what exactly that we want and to get what exactly that we want. Thank you so much, sir. It's a privilege. Next, for the felicitation, we have Dr. Dwini Mehta, co-founder.
You are mute. Karthik, you are mute. Yeah.
I'm sorry, am I audible right now?
Yeah. Now.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for your resourceful words. It's been a privilege. Thank you, sir. Next up for the felicitation, we have Dr. Dwini Mehta, co-founder and lead of Health and Medical Law at Vidhi Center for Legal Research, an independent think tank that does legal research to make better laws and improve governance for the public good. During her doctoral degree at the University of Oxford, she was a chairperson of Oxford Pro Bono Publico and an editor of the Oxford Human Rights blog. She's also a part of the advisory board of Lex Erudites, which is something that we all are extremely proud about. And it is indeed an honor to have you here with us, ma'am. Over to you.
Thanks very much for the kind words. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to all the panelists and to all the participants. I'm really delighted to be able to speak a few words at the inauguration of this second edition of the International Mediation Competition as a member of Lex Erudites Advisory Board. I think it's wonderful that an institution like the Government Law College Ernakulam is hosting this in collaboration with Lex Erudites. And it's really also heartening to see that 30 teams have signed up to participate in this competition with an almost even split of between national and international judges for the preliminary rounds. I think competitions like this are always a really wonderful way for students to be able to hone and test their legal and, in this case, mediation skills. But I think more importantly, they're also a great exercise in teamwork and collaboration. I think it's also a fascinating way to learn more about other legal cultures. And I do hope that in future editions of the competition, you will be able to interact with each other in person and learn more from each other as well. I know I really enjoyed and cherished the experience that I had when I was a law student doing international moot competitions. And I hope that, you get to do the same soon. I think the enthusiasm that law students around the world are displaying in international mediation at the moment is a real vote of confidence for alternative dispute resolution. And I'm really interested to see how competitions like this are going to influence legal education and legal culture more broadly. Although I should probably read Dr. Brian Clark's book on lawyers and mediation to get a better historical sense of that. So all my very best to all the students who are participating in this competition. I hope it's a great learning experience for all of you. And all the very best to the organizers as well. I'm very confident that you will be able to pull off an enormously successful second edition of the competition. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for your encouraging words, ma'am. Thank you so much. As you rightly said, it's important that this platform is a learning for all of us. And it's not only for the students, everybody who's attending or participating in such kind of a discussion learns and gets something out of it. So we hope this is an enriching and resourceful session for everybody. Next in line, we have Dr. Brian Clark, the guiding force of this competition and the patron of second IMC-V-2022. Professor Dr. Brian Clark is a professor of law and civil justice, head at the Newcastle University Law School, United Kingdom. He is a former board member of Scottish Mediation and former member of the Civil Mediation Council's Academic Committee. He is also currently a member of the Arab Mediation Project. He has been a part of the advisory board since its inception, and it is something that we're extremely proud to flex about. Thank you so much for being with us, sir, and thank you so much for being a guiding light for us. I kindly request you to give the felicitation address.
Well, thank you very much for that, for those very kind words you gave me there, Karthik. Thank you so much for that. And thank you to all my fellow panelists here today for the words that you've given. And it's been a really excellent event already. So I'm the patron of this event. So I was involved quite heavily the first time around in the competition, getting it set up with Lex Erudites and His Highness the Maharajas Government Law College, Ernakulam. And the first event was a real success, actually, with lots of teams, some fantastic judges, many international judges. The students performed incredibly well. I think they all really enjoyed it and they got a huge amount from it. But I'm hoping this second edition is going to be even better. And we've got 30 teams from various different countries, lots of fantastic judges as well. And I want to thank all of them, many of whom are contacts of mine, and I know that they're contacts of the college and Lex Erudites as well. But you've given up your time here. And I think it's really important that those of us in the profession who have got experience can give that time back to those who are just moving into law and mediation here, and helping those students in this competition learn so much about the process. And I think, and this has been said before to some extent, but these competitions are incredibly important because mediation is becoming a more important way of resolving disputes. In many jurisdictions, I know there's huge development in India, Sri Lanka, across the UK, in Southeast Asia, the United States, all across the globe, actually, and also in all kinds of disputes, commercial disputes, employment, family, human rights, large international disputes involving governments, for example. So it's becoming incredibly important. And I think as lawyers, particularly the students in this competition, as young lawyers coming through into the profession, for you to know about mediation, for you to have experienced and had training and been involved in competitions, it's going to make you much more ready in practice for when you encounter mediation. And something that I always say to students who are getting involved in mediation in competitions or in classes or training, I say that even if you don't actually ever encounter the process in practice, and most of you will, of course, some of you as mediators, most of you as lawyers in the process. But even if you didn't, I simply think that mediation and negotiation training simply makes you better lawyers, fundamentally speaking, because you get to understand disputes better, how to negotiate better, you understand the place of law in resolving disputes alongside a range of other client interests, what's of use for the client in terms of confidentiality, avoiding publicity, what makes commercial sense, the client's appetite for risk. So all those factors which lead into how you should be advising your clients. So these competitions are a brilliant example of that. And I'm very, very proud to be involved in this competition again. And I'll speak to all of you again, the students here, in the workshop that Sabine and Alad and I will be delivering after this inaugural ceremony has ended. So thank you very much again, and I'll pass you back to Karthik. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Before we come to the end of the official function, I kindly request our editor-in-chief and the patron, as well as a guiding force of our Lex Erudites, Advocate Gajendra Singh Raj Purohit, to propose the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver this duty. It was Advocate Akhil George who was supposed to be here, but due to some inconvenience, he couldn't join, some technical issues. Today, I think this is a very auspicious event as far as mediation is concerned. Mediation has a very important role to play in the role of our lives as lawyers, law students, as academicians, because I think mediation is a simplest form of resolving disputes in a very simplest form. Mediation in India was never a new concept. Mediation had been existing in Indian culture for a long time. I think it dates back to the Rig Vedas, where we had the concept of panchayats, 5 panchas sitting together, resolving the disputes among villages. So I think in the search of gold, we lost diamonds over a long period of time. And in the hunt of litigation, in the fight of satisfying our egos, we have gone a long way in forgetting the concept of mediation. I think this is the time when we come together and support the concept of mediation through these competitions, where we ignite the minds of young students, young law students, to participate in the mediation competitions and work towards it. Now, it gives me an immense pleasure to thank the chief guest of the day, Dr. Justice Kausar Adpagat sir. The day we had approached Kausar sir, he happily agreed to come and inaugurate this event. And I think we are lucky and fortunate enough to have Kausar sir, because Kausar sir has been an ardent supporter of mediation. He himself holds a lot of qualifications in the field of mediation. Kausar sir has always been a person who has been motivating young advocates who appear before his court. And he has been a person who even promotes the concept of mediation while sitting in the jurisdiction of criminal MCs. And I think that's the kind of a support for mediation Kausar sir has been lending towards this concept. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We are lucky and fortunate enough to have you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Brian Clark, sir. Brian Clark, sir, have been throwing the light of guidance towards Government Law College, towards Lex Erudites, and towards this whole event. Because from the day one, when we came up with this idea of the mediation competition, he has been lending support throughout, right from the beginning of the registrations towards the end, that is preparing the problems for the competition. Thank you, Brian sir, for lending us such a support for bringing this competition to this state, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next, I would like to thank the pillar and the strongest supporter of this competition, that is the principal of this institution, Government Law College Ernakulam, where even I am an alumnus of. So it gives me an immense pleasure to join you, ma'am, today. Again, not as a student, but as an advocate. It gives me a lot of happiness that you have been supporting this competition from throughout. I don't think I need to thank you, because you are an integral support and part of this mediation competition, as good as me. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Main Abubakar sir, who is the faculty coordinator of this competition. Main sir had been guiding us on every aspect. Every day when the student coordinators have some kind of a doubt or hindrance in their minds, they just give a call to Main sir, and Main sir would be there even in the midnight to support and to help the students. Thank you, Main sir, for extending a support throughout. Next, I would like to thank Alec Davis, sir, of the Mediator Academy in that kingdom. Today, when the students had approached Alec Davis, sir, with this kind of an idea of competition, he was happy enough to say that we will offer a course to the students who would be participating in this competition. I think that is the kind of a support which the students had always been looking for. And I think by this competition, Alec Davis, sir, would be igniting the concept of mediation throughout India, throughout all the law schools in India. I think we'll be able to deliver a good result towards this initiative, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Next, I would like to thank Sabine Walsh, ma'am, who had joined us, who is also an ally of Alec Davis, sir, and she's a part of the Mediator Academy. Thank you, ma'am, for supporting this cause and initiative. I welcome you, ma'am, and thank you for joining. Next, I would like to thank Advocate Akhil George, the Editor-in-Chief of Lex Erudites, who could not join us today. Thank you, Akhil. Yes. Now, Dhwani ma'am. Dhwani ma'am has been an ardent supporter of us from the day of the inception of Lex Erudites. Ma'am has always been constantly supporting this cause of the students. Ma'am, we are fortunate enough to have you as a key speaker today with us. Without your support, we would not have reached at this stage, ma'am. Thank you so much for your constant support.
Thank you very much.
Now, last but not the least, the students of Government Law College, the organizing committee, and the participants who are here to participate in this event. Thank you so much for joining us today and participating in this competition, because without you, it would not have been possible to floor this kind of an event. Thank you, all of you. I wish you all the best. I thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart on behalf of Government Law College Ernakulam as well as Lex Erudites for making this event look so good and look so big. With all your participation, we will be able to make this cause reach towards a greater stage. I thank you all for joining us today. Thank you. Over to you, Karthik.
Thank you so much, sir. It would be extremely unfair if I do not take this opportunity to thank Gajendra, sir, who has been the backbone of this event and without whom we cannot imagine the conduct of this event. Thank you so much, sir. I think there is extreme knowledge and extreme resources that's available in this room. And for all the participants here, there's a lot to gain over the course of the next 3 days. And with that, we come to the end of the official function. Within 10 minutes, we shall commence the workshop, which we have been waiting for, and which has been a major highlight of the first day. I request the participants, as well as the volunteers from GLC Ernakulam, to kindly stay back. We shall shortly commence the workshop. I humbly take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to all the distinguished guests for making this inauguration ceremony a grand, but a short and simple one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
I request the people who have been attending the workshop and Alec David, sir, to kindly be in the same link, because the workshop shall be happening in the same link as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we'll aim to start in just 10 minutes, yeah?
Yes, sir. We shall have a breather for 10 minutes and then we can get started. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.